All right, it's 1 o'clock. Let's go. I'm muting everyone.
Shut us all up.
Woo! Shut y'all up. Welcome, everybody. Nice big group today. Here we go. Mute all. Hey, Bryce. Hey, Brooke. Nice. All right. I've already taught chair yoga once today at 10 a.m. A corporate gig. So this will be my second time around. So I'm going to do the same thing. All right. Welcome to anyone who's new. And just so you know, if you want to do the more vigorous variations, you can pin Lara's video. So to do that, you long press or hover over top of her video and find the word pin, and then you will see what she's doing. There's also a few other people that do the standing versions. I think maybe Katya does, and I think that Karina does generally. So, and there's probably other people. Maybe Hannah's in there somewhere, I'm not sure. Anyway, look around until you find someone who's doing the standing poses if that's what you want to do. All right, and also turn off your video if you don't want to be seen. I love to see you, as always. Hey, Jude. All right, settle your shoulders. Settle your breath. Close your eyes. Turning off my washing machine. Notice the progression of your breath as the air rolls in through your nostrils. Gently swirls past the back of your throat. Travels down into your lungs. Where the magic all takes place. See if you can use this awareness of your breath to connect to your heartbeat. Because it's part of the process too. And let's begin to ramp that process up a little bit. Begin to deepen your breath. And then increase the inhale. Increase the exhale. We'll do two things today. We'll do a little bit of super deep breathing, maybe even a diaphragm vacuum, and then we'll do a little bit of air hunger. So if you need to open your eyes, you can. Otherwise, keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands to the sides of your ribs. You can also bring your hands to the front and back of your body if that's less awkward. It may be awkward to do either one of those. The hands can be also quite low, just so you can feel a little bit of your ribs. And take a deep inhale through your nose. Let your lips sit gently on top of each other. Feel your ribs moving away from each other, and then exhale, bring them back together. So not only do your individual ribs move away from each other, but also your hands will move away from each other as the sides of your body expand horizontally or sideways. Try a few more here and see what that feels like. Really notice, especially for now, the inhale. Notice the sensation of your ribs pushing into your hands as they widen. Imagine it's a cage. I mean, we do call it the rib cage. Sometimes in yoga, people find that offensive, and we are supposed to call it a rib basket. So rib basket. Expand your rib basket as big as you can on your inhale. Your shoulders might go up a little bit into that emergency zone. That's okay. You can sink them back down again or leave them up there, whatever works. Just get your basket as big as you can for a couple of inhales. And let's do 3 little sips at the top of our next inhale, just to see if we can make that basket even bigger. Deep inhale. And take 3 sips of air, increasing the size of your basket. And then release your hands, release your breath, exhale. Let's try the diaphragm vacuum. Last time we did it, we had our hands on your hip, on our ribs. And if it's your first time doing it, please put your hands on your ribs. It's easier. But if you remember it from before, it's really effective if you do it with your hands overhead. So just raise your hands overhead. You can interlace your fingers if you like. This raises your rib cage and it increases the effect of the whole thing. So take a deep inhale, spread your rib basket. And take a deep exhale, get really empty. Now don't breathe in. Keep your breath all the way out, but spread your rib basket. Make it huge. Do not breathe in. And you just hold for a few seconds and then release it. So what happens there, you lay your arms down. What happens there is all the viscera gets sucked up into your ribs and gets a little workout. So we're going to try that again. If you want to have your hands on your ribs, try. Big inhale, rib basket gets huge. Big exhale all the way. Keep your breath out and spread your rib basket. And then let it out. Relax your arms. So that's super good for digestion, great for your diaphragm, great for everything in your torso, basically. Let's do one more. They're so good for you. Inhale your arms overhead if you're doing that. Inhale your rib basket huge. Exhale it empty. Keep your breath all the way out. Spread your ribs. You want a little extra, move around a bit. And then exhale. Return your breath to normal. See if you notice any effects. I notice digestive effects for sure. I'm sure there are effects for the strengthening of diaphragm and other things like that, other breath effects. Okay, let's do a little air hunger now. So remember, air hunger is a whole different story. Air hunger is LSD, long, slow, and deep, in and out through your nose. Air hunger is the asthma exercise. Changes the concentration of nitric oxide. Take a couple of really soft breaths, not disturbing your nose hairs. Some of the science behind this is that breathing is an oxidative process. Breathing actually does take energy and creates waste products in the body. So we do want to make the breath as easy as possible. If you have something that monitors your respiratory rate over the day, you want that to be low. Mine's about 15 or 16. I like it to be 14 times per minute, that is. So do a couple of really gentle, easy breaths until you start to feel some air hunger, like you want to breathe a little faster. But don't, unless you're dizzy. If you're dizzy, stop. If you're not dizzy, exhale through your nose all the way. Get really empty all the way. All the way. You can even do 3 little sucker punches. Plug your nose, wave your head from side to side. So basically you can see how long you can do that for until you have to breathe. We've been doing this for a few weeks now. You might, when you release your nose, you might go and have an emergency breath, and that's fine. We're working towards releasing our nose and just taking a normal LSD breath. Don't disturb your nostril hairs. Let's try one more time. Slow your breath down. Slow it right down, and now exhale fully through your nose. All the way. Maybe 3 little sucker punches at the end. Plug your nose. Yeah, nice. Nice control. Let your breath return to normal. And now deepen it slightly. Equal inhale, exhale. In and out through your nose. Pop your eyes open. Smile your face. Be happy you did some breath work today. And remember, that's always my homework, breath work. Let's go straight into our Sufi grind. Rotating your torso around. And take a few rolls to go as far. You can even pause in places and move into the fascia here. Move into the corners of your fascia. Do a couple that are your full range of movement, whatever that is. It's not the same as mine, it's yours. So find it. Move into the tiny corners, and then, and only then, you can start to rotate your rib basket around in a big circle. We're going to do upper body, wrists, arms, and neck today. So you don't need to worry too much about your hips here. We'll keep this keep the emphasis in the upper body. We'll do 1 or 2 forward folds, of course. You don't need to bring this into the hips. Sometimes we bring it really into the hips and we imagine that our hips are like a big bowl of water or apples or something. But today we can just keep the emphasis in the upper body, switch directions. Doesn't mean it's easy, just means the emphasis is somewhere else. And use your hands, your muscles of your forearms, your muscles of your upper arms. And remember those, a couple of really slow ones. And if you can feel it between your shoulder blades, it's awesome. Grab the front of your knees and pull back. So you can get into the fascia across your back. And remember the breath coordinates here. Inhale forward, exhale back. And you can speed up again if you like. This is really, I've had a couple of comments about the timing of this, because here in Vancouver, it's at 1 o'clock and people are asking if they should eat before they do yoga. If you're doing the standing version, then no. If you're just doing the seated version, usually it's okay. And stuff like this is really good for digestion. It doesn't usually hurt you to have eaten. Last breath, and let's smoothly come into cat-cow. Just a few. We're not going to do a lot of cat-cow today because we're going to concentrate on shoulders. Inhale, chest forward. You can even take 1 or 2 to really explore the range of motion in your neck here. I never let my neck hang all the way back anymore. Now that I'm in the 2nd decade of my life, and I wish I had not done it in the 1st decade of my life, but I always do things with support. So I've always got support in my neck muscles here. I never just fold my neck back. But here I do bring my chin all the way down to the cleft that's formed here between your clavicles. So you can do a couple more, a little speedier to warm up the upper body. And then come back to neutral. And we'll move into some arm stuff. So move your way to the edge of your chair or your couch, if you're on the couch. And we're just going to come straight into one of our mainstays here, which is the shoulder twist. And remembering that this is a variation. And we bring the effort here. If you're standing up, you can just be standing up. If you're standing up, notice that my hips are not moving here. My hips are steady. And the way that I make my hips steady, it's called the deep front line. I push into the floor with my big toes. And that strengthens up everything right in the inner leg, all the way up to the belly and down to the other leg. Makes this U-shaped, nice, solid, low body here. So a few more. Just getting everything going in the arms. Deepen your breath. Exhales and inhales. Long, long, long. Long and slow. Shoulders are low. If this is your first time joining us, you could have sore shoulders tomorrow because we're gonna do what we usually do, which is a fair amount of shoulder work. And remember, if your shoulders are sensitive, hands are here, just using your abs to twist. Or if you just want to do that today, 2 more breaths. And also remembering that it's your practice. You can turn off your video and do whatever you want. You can sleep, you can do push-ups, you can do burpees, whatever you want. Last breath. Shake out your arms. Give a couple of shakes forward. And then let's move right into our opening and closing. I think we might have done this yesterday. Certainly we've done it recently because I can feel it. Inhale all the way overhead. And of course you can do this slow, right? You can clench your fist and open your fist, clench and open. The faster you do it, the more your forearms will hurt. This is really good if you work with a mouse, which is like all of us now. Breath is long. You can inhale your arms up and exhale them down. Shake them out again. Flick them out towards me. And let's go back and do that one more time. Flick and inhale overhead. And exhale. One more time. I know it's really hard. Keep your arms as straight as you can. Straight, straight, straighten your arms. Straight elbows. Just opening and closing your fists. Flick them out. Take one fist and massage your forearms. I'm using the fingers, my knuckles. Both sides. Interlace your fingers and push your palms towards me. Round your belly. And then push them up to the ceiling. Let's do this on the breath. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Bring your hands back into your chest and then inhale them up. Back into your chest, inhale them forward. Last time. Hold cat pose, return your hands to your knees and cat pose. Take a few breaths. Pull your belly button back towards your spine on the exhale. Come back to neutral. Interlace your fingers and roll out your wrists and forearms. Both directions. And now do puppy pose or poodle pose. And you can do that in 2 ways. You can either just point your fingers at the floor and you'll probably feel that in your forearms. Or you can hang one hand off your fingers and pull your fingers towards the floor. You don't have to do this up. Actually, it's actually pretty good if you straighten your arm. Actually, do both. So grab your right fingers with your left hand and just do the regular poodle pose that we always do. And then just straighten and bend your elbow. That's actually quite good. And let's do the other arm. So bend your fingertips, your left hand towards the floor, grab on, pull down, and straighten and bend your elbow. And then flick out your fingertips. Let's do eagle arms. If you want to do standing pose, actually let's do sun salutes first and then we'll do eagle arms after that. So if you're doing standing, please come to standing. Let's take a full sun salute here that we've been practicing for a little while. Inhale overhead. Remember, your knees can be bent or they can be extended for greater effort. Exhale, full. Inhale, long spine, half lift pose. Pull your spine or pull your chest towards your device, and then exhale, take a full. Inhale, right knee comes up or steps back into lunge. If you're doing the standing version. Let's do an exhale and an inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, pull hard on your knee, round your spine. You can pull your forehead towards your knee. Exhale, downward facing dog for the people standing up. Place your hands on your knees. Inhale, cat pose. Pull your chest forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, did I say cat? I meant cow. Exhale, cat pose, downward facing dog. Now here, your right foot goes back if you're standing, but your left knee comes in if you're sitting. Tug your left knee in. Take an exhale and an inhale. Really, maybe pulling your forehead a little bit towards your knee. Big inhale. It's so beneficial to breathe together. Exhale, forward fold. If you need to take a couple of breaths for one of mine, that's totally fine. Just join us with the breaths when you can. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive up to neutral. Let's do the other side. Looks great. Those of you I can see. Inhale, overhead. Lift your chest to the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive. Dive forward. Big, long exhale. Inhale, half lift. Press onto your knees. Make your spine parallel to the floor if you're standing. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, left knee into your chest or left knee back if you're standing. Exhale, forehead towards your knee. Big inhale. Exhale, release, downward facing dog. Inhale, cow pose. Pull your chest forward. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or cat pose. Step your left leg back into a lunge or pull your right knee into your chest. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, sink into your lunge or sink your forehead towards your knee. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold now. Big exhale. Big inhale. Last forward fold, here we go. Inhale, power up your belly to come up. Reverse swan dive. Exhale, neutral, Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's do that a little faster. I'll keep my knees bent this time. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Place your hands on your knees. Inhale your chest towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold. Inhale your right leg back if you're standing. Right knee in if you're sitting. Exhale your forehead towards your knee or deeply go into your lunge. Big inhale. Exhale, foot on the floor or push back into downward facing dog. Soften everything. Here we go. Inhale, upward facing dog or cow pose. Exhale, cat pose, downward facing dog. Right knee goes back or left knee comes in. Squeeze your left knee into your chest if you're sitting. Exhale, forehead to knee. Big inhale. Forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Place your hands on your knees if you're sitting and pull your chest forward. And then exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, neutral. We're gonna go straight to the other side. If you're standing, your left leg moves all the time on this one. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long spine. You can even grab onto your shins if that's comfortable. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg back or left knee in. Exhale, sink into your lunge or drop your forehead towards your knee. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, soften, return your leg to the floor, downward facing dog if you're standing. Hands to your knees if you're seated. Inhale, up dog if you're standing. Cow pose if you're seated. Exhale, cat pose if you're seated. Downward facing dog if you're standing. Now, left leg goes back if you're standing. Right knee comes in if you're sitting. Squeeze it in and then exhale, round your back, bring your forehead towards your knee. Big inhale, squeeze your knee if you're seated. Straighten your spine. And then everyone fold forward, dive forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Let's leave our hands up here. Interlace your fingers, make a little steeple out of your first fingers. And take a deep breath. If you'd like to come to standing, this is a great one to do standing. It's also great seated. Sandwich your ears with your biceps. Lift your shoulders up into that emergency zone. Bring them right up. Remember that emergency breath zone? Bring them up, 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 high. Your shoulder blades come way up on your back, as high as you can. And now just reach your belly button or your chest up towards the sky just a tiny bit. And do that by pushing into the floor with your toes. If you're seated, your feet are strong on the floor. And there is no sensation in your lower back. If you feel anything in your low back here, come back out. Back down. But if you don't feel anything in your low back, if you just feel a strengthening and stretching in your abdominals, push your toes into the floor and lift one more time. And now we're going to do a full forward fold. Wherever you are, exhale, swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Whether you're seated or whether you're standing, please bend your left leg and straighten your right. And pull your body into your right leg. If this is too much for you, if you're seated, you can just have your right leg bent just a little bit and pull your body towards. Remember, you're not going to look like me. So try and close your eyes. We all look different. Try and close your eyes and just follow my voice if you can. Especially once you get into the pose. Lengthen your breath here. Really blow up that rib basket and then exhale, contract it. Without coming up, bend your right knee and straighten your left knee. Pull your body over your left leg. Close your eyes, deepen your breath, and let gravity take you. One more huge, juicy breath here. Gently begin to come back up. Come into neutral. Take an exhale, soften everything. Now, if you're standing, you can do the next bunch of stuff in goddess pose. If you're seated, you can also take goddess pose, spread your legs wide, but we're not gonna focus on the bottom today. We're just gonna focus on the top body, but you can still be in goddess pose if you like. Inhale your arms overhead. We're gonna come into eagle arms. So sweep your right arm under your left. Find your eagle arms. If you're standing, it looks like this. Take a few breaths here. So we have two legs, left and right. We have two knees. We'll move your needle over to the left knee. A little bit, doesn't go all the way. Just towards that knee. And then towards the right knee. If you're standing, this is a very vigorous pose. You're going left, you're going right. One more time each side. And remember that the variation is the hug, works just as well. And then open your arms like eagle wings. If you're standing, jump your feet together. If you're seated, bring your feet together. And then windshield wiper your knees just to give your hips a little break. And then open your knees again. Inhale your arms overhead. This time, left arm is under right. Slide your left arm under the right. Bring your palms together. If that doesn't work, you can have the backs of your hands together. If that doesn't work, you can find your hug. Take a breath. And then remember this needle. So you can go from one side, it's like a speedometer. From one side, you're going very slow, and then you're going up to 100 miles an hour. All this work is in the belly. Lengthen your breath. Remember, if you're hugging, it looks like this. Working the side body, last time. Come back up to neutral. Open your arms like eagle wings. All those joints, right from the shoulder down to the fingertips, being nourished. Bring your feet in together. Stand in mountain pose or sit in mountain pose. Take a breath. Pull one arm across the chest and then the other. We do this a lot. Just quickly giving your shoulder blades a quick release. And then right elbow up. And give it a pull, and you can lean over towards your left side a little touch. And just quickly, these are kind of like not really held poses. These are sort of intermediary fascial reset stuff. And then release. Okay, we're gonna come into a twist. If you're on the floor, come into mermaid legs or 90-90 legs. If you're on your couch, bring your knees over to the left. If you're on the floor like Sasha, your mermaid legs are kind of going left. It's easier if we're all going the same direction. So if you're on the floor, it looks like this. Also, if that's not accessible to you, but you still want to be on the floor, this is also mermaid legs with your knees piled, your legs piled on top of each other. So we're going to do something a little different here today. Inhale overhead. And exhale, twist right. So this is not different. This is the same. Take a few breaths here. And now we're gonna slide back through center and we're gonna turn all the way to the back of our chair. Go as far around as you can, as far around as you can to the back of the chair. Grab the back of your chair and pull. You're twisting in the other direction now, you're twisting left. If you're on the floor, you're just simply putting your hands on the floor and twisting. Really nice on the chair though, because you can use the chair to really pull your way around. Come back to center. Now here's something different. We're gonna do a little bit of a forward fold, just to the right. It's just over your right hip. If you're in mermaid, exactly right. You're folding over your legs a little tiny bit, just a little release, not a long hold. Come up. Switch your legs if you're in mermaid. I'm gonna show you a quick trick if you're in mermaid to switch sides. Leave your feet exactly where they are. Switch your hips. Cool, right? Okay, so bring your knees to the right side. Face me. Inhale your arms overhead. And exhale, twist left. Right arm goes on the outside of your left knee. Left arm is on the back of your chair, or your plant in my case. Take a few breaths. Imagine that there's a dowel. Sometimes I use a dowel in my classes and I put it up against their student's spine. Imagine there's a dowel for you to rotate around. Inhale, lift the crown of your head. Exhale, rotate. And now slide back through center, nice and slow. Grab the back of your chair and twist. Twisting right now. Breathe your rib basket open. Notice any new sensations. Release and float around and take your little forward fold. It's just a tiny little forward fold. Come back to neutral. If you're seated, extend your legs out in front of you. I guess we're all seated now. Extend your legs out in front of you. Take an inhale overhead. Oh, I promised you we'd do puppy pose, didn't I? Okay, let's do puppy pose. So if you're on your bum on the ground, you're gonna come into child's pose. So swing your legs around into child's pose. And then walk your hands forward into puppy pose. Bum is high, bum is over your knees, hands are outstretched, fingers are wide. And if you like this variation, which people seem to like yesterday, put your elbows on the ground and lean into the elbows. If you want to come off your chair, you can put your elbows on your chair and push down into your shoulders. If you want to stay on your chair, the best way to do it is to take a pillow, put your elbows on the pillow and curl up into a little snail. You can also do this with your elbows on your knees. One more breath here in puppy pose. 3 variations, same benefits. Begin to gently emerge. You're on the ground. That looks great, Sash. You're on the ground. Swing your legs around. Put them out in front of you. You're in your chair. Come to neutral. If you want to go into Shavasana now, it's time to lie down. Sasha loves this animal skin rug. Come to lying down on your back, on your fur rug. Put a pillow under your head if you like, or a pillow under your knees if you like. And no matter where you are, windshield wiper, your knees open and close. Just moving the heads of our femurs inside of our pelvis, just opening that fascia up a little bit. We didn't do a lot of leg work. And then if you're on the ground, let your legs splay open. You can even come into butterfly pose if you want to bring the soles of your feet together for a little extra hip. If you're in your chair, make your feet solid on the floor. Soften your ankles, soften your toes. Soften your calves and your shins. Notice this process of softening. Are you getting better at it? We've been practicing for 3 weeks now, I think. See if you can soften with your breath. Every time you do this, every time you take this little break where you go into your parasympathetic nervous system and go into rest and digest, however little it is, it's still valuable. It adds up. Soften your knees and soften your thighs. Soften the muscles of your chest. Feel the beating of your heart and feel it slowing as you extend your exhale. Soften your pelvis, pelvic floor, whatever you can find in there. See if you can find anything tight. A lot of us hold in the pelvic floor all the time. A lot of us hold in the belly as well. Release your belly if you can. Use an image of warm sand or warm water and send it there. Release your shoulders. If you're seated, send the heads of your shoulders back. If you're lying down, you can do the same thing. Let the heads of your shoulders go towards the floor. Make them very heavy. Consciously release the muscles of your neck, your jaw, your tongue, your lips. Were you holding in your lips? Release the bridge of your nose, space between your eyelids. Smooth out your forehead. See if you can soften your hair follicles all over your scalp. And notice how your whole body now softly moves on the rhythm of your breath. We have a baby in one of my trainings, my online trainings, and we always bring the baby on at this point so that we can watch the baby breathe. If you happen to have a baby, you can watch his whole body move as it breathes. And now deepen that breath. So your whole body begins to move a little more as you deepen the breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Sparkle your eyes open. Sparkle your cheekbones up. Thank you so much, everyone, for practicing again today. Keep moving. Please share this with anyone that you think could benefit. And just tell them that we do about 10 minutes of breath work, about 30 minutes of gentle movement, and then about 5 minutes of relaxation. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Nikki.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Siobhan. Bye. Have a productive afternoon, or drink a cocktail, Katya. Bye. Bye, everybody.
No sound, Lara.
No sound, Lara. Bye, Lara.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Nikki.
Shirley. You're welcome.
Nikki.
Bye,
Thank
Jude.
you.
Hey, Joel. Bye, Jules.
Yeah.
Hey, Ishan.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Tomorrow after the session, do you think you could give us 1 minute where you step away for a little something we're working on?
What do you mean step away? Say that in another way.
You have to step away. A little surprise that we're working on for you.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I step away. I go to my room for a minute and then I come back.
Yep.
Awesome. I can do that.
Yeah, tomorrow after the class.
Cool. All right. I'm in.
Okay.
Nice.
Guys.
Sneaky. Sneaky.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Joel. So good to see you. How are you doing, Joel?
Pretty good.
You guys managing?
It's the work always reaches a crescendo at around 4 o'clock, and as I started,
bet.
messages came at me. I just kind of like
I
turned
bet.
off.
Yes. I'm
gonna
sure
go
other
back.
things reach a crescendo as well.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
realizes that they haven't actually gotten anything done in the day, and they start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's great though.
Oh, well, I like your attic. Is that your little attic room? Your work
Yes,
room?
I just painted the walls on the weekend because they
Great,
were
brilliant.
like brown fake wood paneling.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
Jude, Jude, this is my brother Julian. Julian, I don't know if you can see Jude, but she is Eric's mom.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. I don't know if you can see her. I never know who can see who, but anyway. And then Marcia up at the top with the pink t-shirt on, that's Eric's mom.
Okay. Cool.
So, sorry, Jude, sorry, Marcia is Eric's mom. Jude is Eric's stepmom.
I need to switch to the what do
Gallery
you call
mode.
it?
Switch to gallery mode.
Gallery mode. Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
see all of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, thanks everybody. Bye, Bryce.
Okay,
Hey,
bye.
Sarah.
Bye,
Yeah.
Nikki. Thank you so much.
Bye. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, Marcia.
I see Fiona
See
there.
you. See you tomorrow.
I don't see
Yeah,
Fiona.
Fiona's
I see her
downstairs.
name.
On the second floor.
Fiona's there, yeah.
Oh, she's doing it on the second floor. Aha. Oh,
Yeah.
there you
We got 2 floors of the house.
Hi,
There's
Fiona. Okay. Hi,
It's kind of
Peggy.
weird
Bye,
that we're
Peggy.
both doing
Bye,
this but on
Bryce.
different floors.
Yeah.
Great.
I got my speakers on, so you can probably hear
go
me.
to your floor.
Love it. Yeah, exactly. Go to your own
Go to
floor right
floor.
now.
Go to your own floor. Yeah.
Go to your spooky house.
Bye.
Thanks, Nick. Bye.
All right. See you guys.